Sitting out here on the back porch and enjoying the snow and the birds. And but I want to take a little time today to take away from the snow that's happening and talk about some of my gear. I've had this Exos 58 Osprey pack for a number of years, and I really liked it, but it would carry too much, and I thought I wanted to reduce the volume, and the only way I could kind of do that was to force myself to do that. And so I had a couple other issues, so I decided I would buy this ULA Ohm. Now, it's not as big a pack as this. I think it's advertised to haul as much as this, but to me it seemed smaller, and so I bought it. And it is Dyneema, and I thought, I'll get me a Dyneema pack that is also waterproof. They talk about this Dyneema material being 400 times more water resistant or something. They don't seal the seams. So the first time I used this, I got into heavy rain, and everything in it was soaked. And I thought I could go without a pack cover on the trip, but it just came a deluge of rain. These, they advertise these pockets on the hip belts as having waterproof zippers. This thing is not waterproof at all, other than the zipper's quite waterproof. So I seam sealed this and haven't had that kind of rain. You're not going to have that kind of rain very often. And but this pack has better straps. It's more comfortable. It will not haul what the Exos 58 hauls. It is, it's everything I wanted when I bought it. These side pockets look real big, but they will not haul a 1 liter bottle of water realistically. I use a 3/4 liter bottles, and then I put all my kind of personal stuff in one side, and the other side I put water in. So I put 2 3/4 liter bottles, and then a small bottle for drinking out of in one packet. And it does real well. I think it's good, but there again, I'm back to carrying a pack cover when it rains, because this thing's not waterproof. It's amazing. I don't know that this Exos, which wasn't supposed to be waterproof, everything would have gotten as wet, but this rain that I walked in was a one-time thing. And so those are my packs. I use the ULA all the time, and anymore, and I like it, but I would like it better if it were waterproof. And so that's the packs, and we'll go over some other things. Pretty much got my gear scattered out here, and we'll go over it. My pack, fully packed with water, weighs, I think, under 20 pounds. And that's probably 2 3/4 liter bottles of water, and then another drinking water bottle, and probably 20-ounce water bottle. So with water and everything, I believe I'm under 20 pounds. And so let's go over it here. Little personal hygiene stuff, wet ones, germ wipes, toothbrush, toothpaste, earplugs, and then Band-Aids and Swiss Army knife, Jack Daniels, and foil. Those things, and then my little spade. That's everything personal kind of stuff. In this, there's extra stuff in here, but basically my anchor, I think I've got a 20 milliamp and a 10 milliamp anchor battery pack, and I'll probably take one of them at a time. Being a section hiker, I am not out for a week or anything. 3 or 4 days at the most, I think, before I get back to some kind of base camp. Battery charger, and these Hyperlite stuff sacks. I didn't find my other one, but I've got this with the open top. It needs to be about 3 inches longer so you can stuff it and roll it. You know, if you roll these, like that, it's not the width of your backpack, and it takes a couple turns to seal it. I put my Enlighten Equipment quilt, this Enlighten Equipment down quilt. I use this for that, and it works, but you can hardly seal it. Can't seal it. You just can roll it like half a turn and snap it, and does a good job. This is the right 5 liters, the right diameter and everything, but it's just not long enough for what I need. And they can make a longer one, I'll buy it. Use a compactor bag if I want to keep stuff dry. Like I say, my ULA pack is not very water repellent. There's my personal stuff. I have this I put under my sleeping pad to keep it from walking around inside the tent, and that works real well. I have a Big Agnes sleeping pad. It does, I don't know, you have to factory fold it to ever get it back in that bag. My Nemo sleeping pad fits in its bag a lot better than this. It just leaks, and I don't know, I guess they say you can send them back. It needs to have something done to it because it's terrible. And I've got a little flex tail that I aired up with. That's amazingly handy, and it stays charged. It's surprising how long it'll hold a charge. And then my shoes, I hike in waterproof boots and pretty much keep my feet dry. I've hardly ever had wet feet, almost never. My hiking boots are like 2 full sizes over my street shoe size. I'd wear 12, they're 14s. These are 10, and camp shoes, Wade a Creek or something, and these, they're so small that you don't have to worry about them coming off. And they were $10, I think, at Walmart. So those things worked out real well. And my tent is Z-Pack Plex, I guess, Plexamid or something like that. It's quite expensive, lightweight, has done a good job. There's some other tents now that use fewer stakes. That's the only problem I have with this. It takes 10 stakes to set it up right, and there's not enough storage room in the vestibule for my backpack and stuff. I thought there would be a little extra inside, but maybe I don't set it up right. And usually I'm hurriedly setting it up. And in New Hampshire, once I set it up with 6 stakes, and that's the absolute minimum. And it sagged, but I slept like a rock. And that's, I've got to have a pillow. This is a pillow that I've had for years. Nemo, I guess, equipment. And then my Frog top that, I don't know, I've got others. I just try to not use anything. Cook kit is a big deal for me. I have to cook something to eat. I have to force myself to take time to cook. I'll eat snacks, and after a while I just kind of quit eating, and it's not good. And so I force myself to cook. I have lots of things that I cook, olive oil and butter. There's nothing you can put in your backpack that has more calories than per ounce of backpack weight than olive oil or butter. Olive oil seems heavy because you get a bottle of it. It's 200 calories, 220 calories per ounce. And freeze-dried meals, not even the same ballpark with that. But if you take a freeze-dried meal and put an ounce or 2 of olive oil in it, or an ounce of butter, which is 200 calories per ounce, it makes the meal a lot better and gives you some substance in there that you wouldn't get otherwise. But I use this Jetboil skillet. Jetboil skillet comes with a little spatula that snaps into the handle. I got tired of it and went back to my little flipper that's 40 years old, I think it's that old. And had that for a long time. For a plate, this is a piece of stainless steel tool wrap. Machine shop kind of would have that maybe you could buy a feet of it, but it's stainless steel tool wrap that you heat treat parts in, heat that up to, it kind of burns up at 2,000 degrees, but it's still viable. And so it's tough stuff. And I use that for a plate and a cover for my food stuff, but I can set that down and cook a biscuit or something in my skillet, set it on that. When I get done with my skillet, I put it back in and eat out of the skillet. As for stoves, I've had a bunch of stoves. This Soto was kind of the last one that I used. It's a Windmaster or something maybe, but it's a good stove. What I'm using now, I found on Alibaba for $2 a piece, and I think I had to buy 50 of them. So I got $100 worth of stoves. If anybody needs one, I'll be glad to give you one. but I like them. They come with a little pack, and they fold up. and that's kind of my only real luxury thing is my cook kit. I go back to, you know, it's not light. I think the whole thing weighs maybe a pound. I don't think it's any over ounce, maybe or two over a pound, but that's a pound that I don't have. My B-Free filter, I've used Sawyer and I've used drops and I've used all kinds of stuff. But this thing is maybe my favorite. I think I should be carrying an extra filter, and once it starts slowing down, switch filters and clean them back when I get to town or something. They don't last what I would like for them to. Carry these little anchors when I'm sleeping on a wood pad like up in New Hampshire and stuff. I find a hard time to put anchors in, and these little things you get at Lowe's, I anchor my sleeping pad with that if need be. I've got some of them in my, there's my tent stakes. Flashlights, Black Diamond, I've got a couple of them. I've never found a headlamp that I truly like, and I guess I'd end up spending $1,000 buying one of everything. So I just stick with these because they're good. They've done good for me. I carry a little hand light because if one of the others were to go dead, I got to have something, and I'm afraid to be without it. And so, but I think that's about everything. And my ULA, all this stuff together, packed up, looks like a bunch of stuff here, weighs right at, with food and water, I'm a little under 20 pounds. You know, you got a tent here that weighs 15 ounces, and like I say, the cook kit's my only extravagant thing. It weighs, I think, a pound, and most people have a 1 ounce stove, and I use this thing and a big can of fuel. I could use smaller cans of fuel, and save an ounce or two, but you know, Graham weenies that we are, that's it. And everything works out. Hopefully the snow will melt and I'll be back out walking. Have a good day, and see you on the trail. My next trip's to Maine, I think, in June, so I'll be there. Sitting out here on the back porch today and feeding birds and enjoying this weather that I don't have to work. But it's a beautiful day.